First of all, thank God for this amazing honor. Without him, I would be nothing. Without him, I would fail. Without him, I would be like a ship without a sail. I am deeply honored and moved. When I was first exposed to NSA in 1996, I sat at the back of the room and admired Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and I said, that's me. There's something that just connected with me, and I just said, wow, it's amazing. So first of all, I want to say thank you to the NSA family. Thank you to Jim and Naomi Rohde. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your insight. Thank you, Lenora. Thank you, Nito. Thank you to Keith Harrell, who Walter mentioned his name earlier. Keith believed in me. He was a mentor. He was a friend. Of course, Willie. And there are so many others. I want to thank my ESN mastermind group. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And to all of you, those of you who we know each other. So thank you. Muchas gracias. Dankeschön. I'm so appreciative. When I reflect back on this evening and I realize that life is full of a series of moments. 14 years ago, I was sitting at my desk at the happiest place on earth when my phone rang, and on the other end of the line was a journalist from Florida Business Trend magazine. And whenever you work at Disney, Mickey Mouse rule number one is you never talk to the media unless authorized. Well, I wasn't authorized, so I decided to talk to him. So he said, where do you see yourself 10 to 15 years from now? And I said, I see myself as the president and CEO of the Walt Disney World Resort and eventually the chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Needless to say, he puts us in print. So, article comes out, page 12 actually, of the Florida Business Trend magazine, February 2002. And my boss calls me in the office and he's like, dude, help me, what were you thinking when you did this interview saying you wanted to become the #1 guy at Disney? And the Mickey Mouse topiary was behind me. And I said to him, Larry, I work at this company whose motto is, if your heart is in your dreams, no request is too extreme, for when you wish upon a star, it makes no difference who you are. But obviously it does here. So HR shows up a couple hours later, asked me to sign a piece of paper that went into my personnel file. And Disney didn't fire me that day, but about a year later, I heard the footsteps come in and they were not singing It's a Small World After All. So I said to my wife, I said, hey, here's what's going on. And she said, whatever you decide to do, I'm with you. So I want to thank my wife because she believed in me. And so literally, I launched out 12 and a half years ago. I cashed in my entire 401k with significant Disney stock. I took out a line of credit on the house. And I had turned down 4 jobs. And it was at the height when our country was going to war with Iraq for the second time and corporations were laying off by the hundreds of thousands. And everybody at Disney said, you're crazy, you've lost your mind. I said, no, I have to do this. If I don't do this now, I don't want to live with regret. And we did it. And it was you, NSA, who believed in me. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Because I wouldn't be standing here tonight receiving this award. Another moment, about 2 years ago, I got a call from my mom. She said, we need you to come home to Buffalo, New York right away. And I flew up to Buffalo, walked into the hospital room, and they said, we give your dad only a few hours to a few days to live. And my dad had never really told me that he loved me. And my mom said, Reginald, Simon's here. And my dad woke up out of this coma-like state, and he says, I love you, I believe in you, and whatever you do, put God first. He closed his eyes, and a couple of days later, he was gone. At the celebration of his life, a Caucasian woman came up to me, and she said, your dad was my brother. I said, really? You know, all kind of stuff come out at funerals, Funerals become the great reveal. And her husband was standing next to her. Her husband says, yes, your dad was her brother. And what I found out is my mom and dad used to volunteer at a food pantry that her and her husband ran. in Buffalo, New York, where I grew up. And what I really believe what she was saying to me in that moment is that love and respect have no color. So on behalf of my Father who is in heaven, my family, my children, Daniel, Madison, my NSA family, I want to let you know I love you, I believe in you, and there's not a darn thing you can do about it. Thank you very much.